I want to talk about Scott Roeder and who is responsible for killing an abortion doctor, George Tiller, in Wichita, Kansas. And I hate to have to talk about a crime like this the worst way. I just hate to, because I've been an abortion protester for many years, and we're hearing that if you want to protest abortion, you should go to lawful channels, try to change the law. But let me tell you how hard it is, how hard it's been to protest abortion. Like, for example, I confine my protests to writing letters to the newspapers when there was abortion, what I call propaganda, that purported things that I thought were very wrong. So I would write letters all the time. My file cabinet is full of them. Letters protesting this particular column that an abortion advocate was printed in the paper, which there was this big slant to pro-choice. In fact, I think all the media, in order to confine themselves to the law, became pro-choice. And it wasn't good for your career. I can tell you right now, as a playwright, to become pro-life, you were kind of poisoned there for a long time. Still may be. But I'm saying that I had to say I couldn't believe that abortion was right just because it was law. It was because enough people had decided that it was right. And I did not agree with the idea that a child can all be late term, obviously almost able, or even in some cases able, to survive on the outside, but as long as it's in the womb, it's okay to abort it and kill it. And our president now is saying that this has got to be a very tough decision by a mother. I hope to tell you, I'm sure it's a very, very tough decision, but does that make it right? In fact, that's probably why it's so tough, because the mother has to try to convince herself that it's okay to do this. She may be desperate. There's been many a desperate pregnant woman who didn't know how she was going to feed the next child. But was it right to kill the child? Kill. Now, don't cover this up, because this is what Scott Roeder did to George Tiller, who did this. He killed him. And I'm saying that we have to look at bad laws as helping and being a part of the cause of this murder. Because I'm sure it just about drove Scott Roeder crazy to think that people could reason that a late term, which this doctor was known to do, he would do late term abortions, could even be a pastor, be in a church, and reconcile himself to the idea that it was okay to kill a child in the womb. Now, you know, I could see him just blowing his mind and taking the road of rage and maybe having a temper and a streak of violence. And so he turns around and does a murder, which I feel he's going to have to pay for. He's going to go to prison, and he should. And this is not the way. But bad laws cause people like him, unstable, to lose control of themselves. Because it's so difficult. Once a bad law is in effect, it is so difficult to make a difference. So many people are like closed. They don't even want to talk about it. You are just going to be anathema to a lot of people if you protest abortion. You're just going to be unpopular as you can be. And newspapers are going to ignore you. They're not going to print your letters. My newspaper never printed one of my letters for years and years and years. I'd say 35 or 40, and finally printed one letter. This was supposed to be what I'm doing lawfully to change people's minds about abortion. But I keep on writing these letters. I write to the presidents, all of them. I keep on trying to protest lawfully because I don't believe in violence. I don't believe murder by anybody is right. It wasn't right by Scott Roeder, and it's not right by the dog.
Wait a minute.